This game review, like all other game reviews, is subjective. Your opinion about Rust may not be the same as mine. With that being said, here's what I think of Rust. I don't want to spoil what my overall opinion on Rust is, but if you're my friend, you probably know I think that there's a few problems that the game has. But first, let's talk about what Rust does have going for it. Rust is a survival game that features PvP and PvE experiences. It was created by Graydon Hoare, I don't know how you'd say that, I'm sorry, while he was working for Facepunch, and it was released for early access in 2013. Now, you and I both know that's not the information you came here for. You came here for the Sam special on why I dislike this game so fucking much. But I'm not going to give you that right now. Right now, I'm going to tell you straight up, the gameplay is good, the gunplay is good, I like the movement, I like the graphics. Everything is good. They have good gambling. Okay, I love the gambling. Blackjack, I will go crazy for hours on Rust, on Blackjack. But that's not the gambling I have a problem with. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Okay, so first let's talk about the topics that I said that I like. The gameplay is good. In essence, it's just a survival game. It's not bringing anything new to the table really, but to be fair, it was made in 2018, so I think it's safe to say it's not bringing anything new to the table. It already brought it to the table back in 2018. So the gameplay in essence is just you go up through tiers of loot. I know that's a simplification, but just stay with me. Okay, so essentially you're just going through tiers of loot to get better than another person. There's no end game other than better loot, which to be fair, that's every game. But in this one, it's just the end game is being able to raid someone else. This is what I mean when I was talking about gambling. I don't like this type of gambling earlier. I'll get more into that. The gunplay is nice. I love the recoil. I love the attachments they've added recently. Not recently, but it was recently for me at the time. And I know it's not said much, but I like how dark it gets at night. It adds a new aspect to the PvP. So movement and graphics. These are very tiny things, so I'm going to try and put it all into one. But the graphics, they're adjustable. You can make it look very shitty, so you can look through grass and see players better. Or you can make it look like this majestic, beautiful game. And I usually played on potato quality, I won't lie. I liked being able to shoot people from my little tower. Yeah, that's right, I was a tower tard. I stayed up in the tower all the time. Spawned camping nakeds, but that's besides the point. I like the graphics. It was really up to you if you wanted the graphics to be good or not. The movement, it's like any other base survival game movement. It's just like you move where you look, WASD. You can't go side, you can't strafe while you're running. Stuff like that. It was good movement. I like step 60 whenever you could get that little boost from a command. That was peak Rust for me. But let's get down to the thing I don't like. The inherent problem with Rust for me is gambling. I'm not talking about the wheel or the poker or the blackjack. I'm talking about the gambling with your time. In reference earlier to whenever I was bringing up the tiers of loot you go through, every tier has a higher amount of investment of hours from your side. Okay, what I mean by that is every tier you go up, it's going to take you more time to get into a higher tier. You could spend hours getting loot, getting research, and you go offline because you need to do something silly called sleep or maybe go to work, and somebody's checking your Steam profile right as you're about to leave, just looking for you to get offline, just so they can put their little goblin mitts all over your loot while you're asleep. This is what the problem with Rust is to me. It is a major investment of time just for some random person who most of the time doesn't even have a reason to raid you other than that it's the point of the game, which you can't get upset at them for raiding you. It's the point of the game. That's end game. You do that to other people. But whenever the sole meta is to offline people and get your loot like that, I think that removes the entirety of PvP raiding. You might as well just play against NPCs, dude. And with that sadly being the meta of the game these days, it has completely sucked the joy out of the game for me. I have over 600 hours, which is not a lot in comparison to others, but it's still a lot of time. And to have all the joy sucked out just because some greedy goblin fuck wants 200 sulfur is honestly, it's not disappointing because I've definitely gotten my money's worth, but I think it's disappointing for other players who don't realize this and who are just buying the game. For that reason, It's a good game, like I said earlier. Great gameplay, great gunplay, great graphics. It's a good game overall. But the meta that is in the game and has been in the game for years, I think that if someone were to tell me this, that I would choose not to buy the game. In conclusion, I think it's an alright game. Compared to other games, it's pretty average, especially as far as shooters come from. And if you put into fact that you're going to just lose a lot of time for nothing, it's below average in my opinion. But hey, that's okay. If it's your type of game, you're a hardcore gamer, go ahead, play it. It's just not a game for me. Thank you for watching my review. I appreciate it. Watch other videos. That would help me a lot.